Welcome to this Physio&Pilates video. This is a simple sequence designed for general mobility with some strengthening. And it's designed to be done daily and it takes about half an hour. Once you've done it a few times, you may like to pause the video and add a few more reps of some exercises so that you can concentrate on certain areas. Up to you, make of it what you will, but I hope you enjoy it. Just a comment to point out, I do have an injured shoulder, so I can't move it very far. Hopefully you can move it much better than me, but please be tolerant. Okay, so we're going to start standing up with our feet hip width apart, toes facing forward, and just rocking, transferring your weight to the very front and the very back of your feet, forwards and backwards, so that you can bring your focus down to your feet and then side to side, right over to one side, right over to the other side. And then settle where the weight is even, so the base of your big toe, base of your little toe, centre of your heels, lifting all your toes up maybe, placing them down nice and carefully. And moving up to your knees, just make sure they're not locked, soft knees. Move to the pelvis, tip it forwards, tip it backwards, a couple of times to get that feeling of the movement through your pelvis there, and find the mid position. Shoulder blades up to your ears, round and back, a couple of times. Glide them down. Think about opening your collarbones. Collarbones nice and long. Arms down by your sides, chin in, long neck. So we've got ourselves nice and straight. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, gently draw in through your pelvic floor and your deep abdominals. So visualizing this low slung belt, drawing in, third notch out of 10. Now you've drawn that in, just make sure that your weight is still even through your feet. Sometimes it goes into your heels. Come forward a little bit so the weight is even again. Take a breath in again, and as you breathe out now, we're going to float up onto our toes and then gently down again. So coming up and down. Mobilizing through the ankles a little bit, waking up those calf muscles, ankles and toes, getting a little bit of movement. This time we're going to stay up there and lower one heel, come back up, lower the other heel. It's getting us warmed up a little bit. Try and balance a little bit better than me. So some people will struggle with their balance, and in which case you're allowed to use a wall or the edge of a table or a chair at home. It's absolutely fine. Just trying to get those ankles moving. And then bring that heel down. We're going to come down to little squats now. Just letting your arms float up, so not actively lifting them, keeping your shoulder blades drawn down. And allowing your arms to float up as if you're in a swimming pool. Buoyancy of the water brings them up a little bit. My right one goes up beautifully, my left one's rubbish, as you see. So just showing you from the side there, keep those squats going. I want you to push your bottom back so that your knees don't go beyond your toes. Keeping your back nice and flat and level. You can just check down to check that your knees aren't going too far forwards. So you can imagine you're just going to sit down on a chair and then come back up again. And the last one. And we come back up again. We're going to go to the bottom end of the mat. So we're going to do some roll downs now. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, draw in through your pelvic floor, tuck your chin in. Starting with your neck and your upper back, you're going to roll down. One bone over the next. Arms hanging nice and loosely. All the way down as far as you feel comfortable. Knees still soft. When you get as far as you can, take a breath in
And as you breathe out, stack one bone on top of the next. So you're going to start with your sacrum and your low back, then your mid back, then your upper back.
Shoulder blades down, last of all your head comes up. And again, breathing in. As you breathe out, chin comes in first.
Head and neck, upper back, mid back, low back. Just as far as you're comfortable. Don't overstrain. Take a breath in when you get as far as you can and breathe out to come back. So you should stare at your tummy button or where you think your tummy button should be. All the way down, all the way back up.
And last of all your head. This time we're going to go down and we're going to come down onto our hands and knees.
So rolling down again. Visualizing one bone going over the next.
And then come down onto your hands and knees on the mat. Put the hands a little bit forward from your shoulders, knees underneath your hips, and tip your pelvis forward and backwards to find neutral. Glide your shoulder blades down away from your ears. So from here we're going to do the cat stretch, another great mobilizing exercise. So take a breath in. As you breathe out, head goes under, breastbone lifts away from the mat, tailbone goes under, arching right up as much as you can. Breathe in to hold. And as you breathe out, start with your tailbone going up towards the ceiling, hollowing your low back, shoulder blades down. Last of all, your head comes up, lifting your breastbone. In to prepare, out to tuck under, keep moving your nose towards your tummy button, lift your breastbone, lift your tummy button, tailbone under, breathe in, breathe out, hollow, 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 hollow. Lift your breastbone at the end. One more time, arching up, head first. Visualizing that sequence of bones, moving one after the next. Then we're going to come back to a neutral position where the back is nice and flat, shoulder blades drawn away from the ears. We're going to do some little dips now, working our upper arms. So try and keep your body weight well forwards. So imaginary line between your fingertips is where you're aiming your nose towards. Keeping your elbows tucked in, your low back in neutral, and lowering and coming up. Keep it going, a couple more. You can really feel the stability around those shoulders working there. And then we're going to come down onto our tummies. And we're going to do the breaststroke prep. Forehead supported on your folded towel or your little cushion. Arms down by your sides. And then check your center, pelvis neutral, chin in. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, glide your shoulder blades down, draw them towards each other. At the same time, lifting your hands, palms facing in. Breathe in to hold and breathe out to down. Gliding down, drawing them towards each other. Lift. Breathe in to hold. Out to down. Really focusing on those shoulder blades, drawing them down and back. And feel that opening out of the front of your chest as you do it. Couple more times. And the last one. Glide down. Feel that opening at the front of the chest. Breathe in to hold. And then breathe out to come back down. Brings your arms now up to the stop position. Shoulder blades drawn away from your ears still. Imaginary peach underneath your chin now, and we're going to do the swan dive. Lifting your forehead, lifting your breastbone. So you're going to breathe in to prepare, and as you breathe out, float your breastbone away from the mat,
forehead follows. Breathe in to hold and breathe out to down. Trying to keep that neutral position in your low back, so a gentle tension on those deep tummy muscles so that you're not overarching your low back. And focus on pushing that tailbone away from you towards the wall behind you and your crown of your head towards the wall ahead of you. Last one. Excellent. So we're going to do some swimming legs now. So find your neutral again. And then lengthen your right leg, squeeze your buttock, lift that leg up straight. And breathe in to lower. And the other one. So alternate legs, lengthen, squeeze and lift. And you might find if you put your hands on your low back there, you can feel whether or not you're arching your low back. So we don't want that hollowing there. So you lengthen, squeeze and lift. Try and keep your knee nice and straight. Lengthen, squeeze. Put your finger on your buttock. Feel that buttock muscle working there. And the other one. Try not to let your back rock from side to side. Just imagine you've got a tray of drinks balanced on there. And we don't want to spill any of those drinks. A couple more each side. Really waking up those buttock muscles. And one more each side. Really reaching your leg towards the wall behind you. Feel those buttocks working much more than the back of your leg. And then rest. We're going to come up now and have a little bit of a stretch out in the shell stretch. So getting your buttocks down over your heels. Breastbone down towards the mat, forehead down onto the mat, and arms out in front. So I've got my left arm tucked around behind me because it won't go up there. But the other one will reach, so fingertips reaching as far as I can towards the wall ahead. And sinking the breastbone down. Breathing deep and wide. And each time you exhale, sinking your breastbone a little bit further down towards the mat. If you can't get your head down onto the mat, you might want to use a towel or a cushion to give a little bit of extra support there. So enjoy that lovely stretch. Some people struggle a little bit with their knees with this, then put a cushion behind your knees. Or if you get time to get cramp, you may want to put a little cushion underneath the fronts of your ankles there. So we've had a good stretch out there, and we're going to do some exercises on our sides now. So over onto side, facing this way so that you can see what I'm doing. Going to need a couple of pillows there. Pillows well back. We're going to do some arm openings. So with this position, make sure your shoulders are stacked, your hips are stacked, knees together, feet together. Feet are in line with your bottom. Just push away the top of your pelvis there so you've got a little gap underneath your waist there. Bottom arm out, stretched, palm up, top arm, palm down. Shoulder blades drawn away from your ears. Breathe in. As you breathe out, float the top arm up, watching it with your eyes as it goes. Soften your elbow, open your chest, and come back to the starting point. Breathing in to prepare, breathing out to float up, in to open, and out to return. Rest that top arm on your side. I'm going to do side kick level 1. Floating the top leg up so that your knee and foot are the same distance away from the floor. Breathing in to prepare, breathing out to come forwards, and in to return. Out to come forwards, in to return. I'm going to keep the same amount of bend in that knee and pivoting from the hip joint there. Breathing out to go forwards, in to return. So this is one of the points where once you've done this sequence a few times, you might want to press pause on your whatever you're using, your iPad or whatever, and you can continue to do a few extra of these if you want to, and then lower that down again. Okay, we're going to come up to kneeling now. So, kneeling upright, we're going to do some side bends now. So when you get to this kneeling position, tip your pelvis forwards and backwards again, find that neutral position, shoulder blades drawn down, and we're going to go over to the side. So breathing in, as you breathe out, engage through your centre, lengthen as you come over to the side, top arm comes right over, breathe in to stretch, and breathe out to come back. In to prepare, out to go the other way. Can't get this arm up, breathe in to hold, and breathe out to come back. In to prepare, out to go to the side, reaching down the outside of your leg, other arm comes right over if you can, breathe in to stretch, really feeling the ribs coming apart, opening out the whole of your side, lengthening as you go over the other way. And one last time each way. Over the other way. Feel that opening out through all that side. And down. I'm going to lie on our other sides now. And arm openings again. So this is my not so good arm, but I can do this exercise, and actually it feels really good to get that stretch. Breathing in to prepare, out to come up, in to open, and out to come back. So if you do have a stiff shoulder, it's really good to get some mobility in your upper back to help with your shoulder joint mobility. Let's do one more of these. Rest your arm on your side now. Side kick, floating that leg up. Breathe out to come forwards, in to return. So we're not going behind the midline with this, we're just going forwards and back to the starting point again. Breathing out to go forwards, in to return. Two more. And lower down. We're going to roll over onto our backs now. So, minimum support for your head. Just tuck myself in, make myself look decent. Arms down by your sides, feet hip width apart. We're going to do some shoulder bridges. So, take a breath in. As you breathe out, draw in through your pelvic floor, tip your pelvis back, so feel your waist squashing down on that mat, then squeeze your buttocks to lift up. Breathe in to hold that position, and then breathe out to start between your shoulder blades. And come back down again, one bone at a time. Breathing in to prepare, breathing out to tip back. Really squash an imaginary raspberry underneath your waist. And then squeeze your buttocks and peel one bone at a time up. When you get up to the top, you're really opening out the front of those hips there. Take a breath in. And as you breathe out, sink your breastbone down. Down, down, down. One bone at a time, like a string of pearls coming back down onto the mat. Breathe in again. And as you breathe out, tip back, squeeze your butt. Peel one bone at a time off, in to hold, and out to come back down. So this is another point you may wish to pause your
video and do a few more. So you could add in some side twists. Imagine you've got sand in your pocket, dropping the sand out of that pocket, sand out of that pocket, or you may want to do some level twos, floating the leg up, floating the other leg up. So you can add in a little bit more then if you want. I'm going to roll back down again now. Bring your knees to your chest. Have a nice stretch. Keep the length through the back of your neck, shoulder blades down, don't all scrunch up there. Elbows to the sides. Then keep hold of your right knee. Straighten out the left one and see how flat you can get that down onto the mat. Some of us are quite tight in the front of the hips there, so this is a really nice way of stretching out those tight hip flexors and stretching the other leg as well. Again, softening, lengthening through the back of your neck, bringing your shoulder blades down. You're going to rest your left hand on the front of your left hip there, just to feel that you're keeping it still while you rotate the right knee 3 times one way, 3 times the other way, to mobilize through the hip joint. A lot of us get quite stiff in our hips, so it's a nice mobility exercise. Then change your grip, so you've clasped your hands behind your thigh. Get your thighs central, vertical, pelvis neutral, and we're going to do a hamstring stretch, stretching all the way along the back of your leg there. Hold that stretch. Keep the breathing going and be aware of your neck position. So some people shorten the backs of their necks when they're lengthening the hamstring, so keep that length there. If you haven't got sciatic pain, you can add in, if you wish, a little bit of ankle movements, flexing and pointing at the ankle there, giving you a really nice stretch. Last one. Bend up, bring the other one to join it. Another stretch here. You can add in your head if you want as well. Lower it down. Keep the left one bent, right one straight. Flattening that right one down as flat as it will go. Push it down, pull the other one up. Shoulder blades down, long neck. Hold that stretch. Right hand resting on the front of that hip to check that it stays level whilst you rotate through the left hip joint. Feel the ball moving in the socket there, and the other way. Clasp your hands behind your thigh, recenter, lengthen. Hold the stretch. Check your neck, and then adding in your foot. Last one. And then down. I'm going to work our abs a little bit now. Pelvis neutral, arms down by your sides, long neck. So take a breath in, and as you breathe out, float one leg up and hold it there. So some of you may like to work from the single leg tabletop, in which case we're going to do one leg stretch from here. Some of you would be happy to do the double leg. So you're going to bring that second leg up to join the first. So we're in the double leg tabletop, shoulder blades still glided down, ribs still down. And then one leg stretch, breathing out to stretch away and breathing in to return. Remember, if this is a little bit too much for you, then the single leg is fine. So you float up, stretch away, bend, and down. So if you're doing the two legs, continue with the two legs. If you're doing the one leg at a time, then that's fine. Just carry on with the one leg at a time. So you should feel as if you're working those tummy muscles a little bit to hold that stability in your center. If you take your straight leg a little lower, then that's going to challenge your abdominal strength a bit more. One more each side. And then lower one and lower the other leg. Float your arms up now, shoulder blades drawn away from your ears, palms facing inwards, and we're going to reach one arm at a time towards the ceiling. Breathing out to stretch, into down. Out to stretch, into down. Last one. And with both the shoulder blades firmly on the mat, turn your palms towards the wall beyond your feet. We're going to do some circles now. So breath in. As you breathe out, bring your arms back towards the wall behind you and then round in a circle to return. Breathing out to go behind and breathing in to return. Now you'll notice I'm doing very small circles because my left shoulder is so restricted in its range, and actually it feels good to give it a little bit of a stretch here doing this. Now you will probably be able to go a lot further, so I'd like you to gradually make those circles bigger. So as I can with my other arm there, whoops, breathing out to go behind, in to open. 2 more circles. Leave your arms up there. Float your legs up to the double leg tabletop. Hold that position. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, one arm goes by your side, the other one goes behind. Breathe in to hold, and breathe out to swap. One arm behind, one arm beside. And breathe out to swap. Swap again. Breathe in to stretch, and breathe out to swap. Last one. We'll do finish off with that good arm. Bring your arms down by your sides. One leg down, other leg down. Put your feet together, knees together, arms to the sides now, palms upwards. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, roll your knees over, head goes the other way. Breathe in to hold the stretch. And then breathe out to place the back of your ribs onto the mat to draw yourself back to the center. Breathing in, breathing out to go the other way.
And just think about these ribs on this side. You're going to place them down onto the mat
to draw yourself down onto the mat and back to the center. You're drawing your legs back. The legs are coming back as passengers, really. So the activity occurs through your oblique abdominals, and your legs follow the movement. And then we're going to roll right over onto our sides and come up to kneeling. We're going to finish with a stretch of the front of the hips again. So you may want to kneel your left knee on a towel, right leg forward, pelvis neutral, shoulder blades down, and lunge forward, feeling that stretch through the front of your hip there. Hold the stretch. Gently ease off it. We're going to add a rotation now, so take your left hand to the outside of your right knee, lunge forward again, and then rotate round to the right, your right hand coming round behind you towards the wall behind you. Hold that stretch, breathing in, and breathe out to return. Swap legs. Tuck your tail under, lunge forward. Feel that stretch in the front of your right hip this time. Tail under, Hold the stretch. Gently ease off. And again, into that stretch again. Then put your right hand on the outside of your left knee. Pull with that right hand, pull you round. Left hand round behind you as far as you can. Hold that rotation, breathe in and breathe out to come back. Stand up. A little stretch to finish off. Shoulder blades up, shoulder blades down. One side, down to the side, round to the middle, up the centre, up. Other side. Back up the centre. Shoulder blades up, shoulder blades down. One more each side. And the last one. Well done, everybody. I hope you really enjoyed that. Thanks for watching.